Have you ever seen a cat that looks like it's just permanently annoyed with the world? Well, you're about to meet a feline that has absolutely perfected that look. Today, we are talking about the Pallas's cat, and we're going to find out exactly what's behind that famously grumpy face. So, the big question is why? Is it just born with a perpetually grumpy, resting face, or is there a really good reason for this legendary scowl? That's what we're here to figure out. And let me tell you, the answer is found in a daily battle for survival, in one of the absolute coldest places on Earth. All right, so let's get to know our little protagonist here, and the one single feature that pretty much defines its entire life. Okay, get this. The Pallas's cat has the densest fur of any cat on the entire planet. And that's not just for show, It's an absolutely critical survival tool for its frozen high-altitude home. But, and this is a big but, keeping that incredibly thick, life-saving coat warm requires a massive and constant amount of energy. And all that energy has to come from somewhere, right? Which brings us to its diet. We're not talking about a casual meal here. For this cat, eating is a high-stakes, constant pressure cooker of a job. It's all about generating enough fuel just to stay alive. So just how much fuel are we talking about? Well, to generate enough body heat to survive in that brutal climate, a Pallas's cat has to hunt and eat 5 rodents every single day. Think about that. It's just a relentless, non-stop quest for calories. And what's on the menu? Mostly small, speedy little critters like voles and pikas. Now, these guys aren't exactly a big feast, which is exactly why the cat has to catch so many of them, day in and day out without fail. Okay, so we know it has to hunt constantly. But how is it actually built for the job? Well, this is where it gets fascinating, because its key physical traits are both a brilliant advantage and, you guessed it, a major curse. This right here is the fundamental problem for the Pallas's cat. On one hand, its legs are some of the shortest of any cat relative to its body. This gives it an amazing, low-to-the-ground profile, perfect for sneaking up on prey. But here's the catch. Those exact same short legs are absolutely terrible for getting around in the deep snow that covers its habitat. So, let's picture it. The cat is out hunting. It's focused, it's using that low profile, everything is going according to plan. But then it runs into a huge problem, one it literally cannot avoid. The problem is the ground itself, the snow. See, the longer it has to wait, staying perfectly still to ambush its prey, the colder its paws get. The very environment it needs for a successful hunt is actively freezing its feet. So what happens next is absolutely crucial. As its paws get colder and colder, the blood circulation actually starts to shut down. The only thing the cat can do, its only physiological trick, is to give a sudden, vigorous shake to force the blood back into its paws. But you see the risk, right? That one sharp movement is very likely to spook its dinner, making it bolt. It's a choice between potential frostbite and almost certain failure. So, after all of that, the stalking, the waiting, the freezing paws, the risky shake, how often does this incredibly difficult hunt actually work out? This, my friends, is where it all comes together, and we see why that face is so grumpy. Yeah, the numbers here are pretty bleak. It turns out only 1 hunt in 3 is actually successful. That means it is failing almost 67% of the time. 2 out of every 3 times it goes through that whole freezing, risky ordeal, it walks away with absolutely nothing to show for it. And that really brings it all home. When you think about it, constantly fighting the cold, always on the edge of starvation, and failing 2/3 of the time, you can see why our source concludes, no wonder he has the reputation of being the grumpiest cat in the world. It seems that expression isn't just for show. It is well and truly earned. But that leaves us with one last thing to think about. After everything we've seen, the crazy dense fur, the legs that are both a gift and a curse, the freezing paws, and that brutal failure rate, is what we're looking at really grumpiness? Or is it maybe just the face of pure, stubborn, unyielding grit? The look it takes to survive in one of the toughest places on Earth?